Hey my beautiful Taurus peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome in here to your January 2024 tarot reading. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. I do want to mention before we start, if you're interested in personal readings, you can check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It's going to be the first link in the description below if you want to book me there. But without further ado here, Team Taurus, let's jump on into it and see what's coming up here for your January. I want to wish you all a happy new year. Hope you're excited. Raymond, thanks for subscribing. Really appreciate that. But nonetheless here, Team Taurus, let's have a look here and see what's coming up for you in January. So what do we got going on here for Taurian, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Zodiac for January 2024? Let's go ahead and have a look. Starting out with the overall energy, we have here the 11 of Cups, or sorry, the 11 of Cups, like that exists. The 9 of Cups coming in for you. For some reason, it looked like 11. Don't ask me why. Looking at the current energy, we have here the Ace of Pentacles, what you're dealing with here, the 2 of Swords, and taking a look here at the current outcome, the 5 of Swords coming into play for you as well. So let's take a look here into this information for you at this time. First things first, 9 of Cups popping up here for Taurus, typically a pretty good energy. You know, it is representative here of feeling self-fulfilled. You feel like you have what you need. So coming into the month here of January, definitely a time I feel of enjoyment and also dabbling into personal pleasure. Of course, try to be mindful of overindulging in certain types of pleasures, whatever that may be to you, just because something can be a good thing, depending on how much we repeat a certain habit, it may not always be the most positive. So too much of something isn't always a good thing, I feel, would be a good approach for the month. So do be mindful if you're noticing that you are overindulging in anything, Taurian, but of course, if it doesn't have to represent overindulgence, it's just representative here of being in a good space, right? Having a look here at the current energy, Ace of Pentacles, I like it. New beginnings here coming in for you. Ace of Pence is definitely representative here of some sort of opportunity coming into play, some sort of fresh start. So some of you could be seeing coming into the month here of January, maybe you're beginning a new job, maybe you got a new working opportunity, so there could be excitement surrounding career. So you may be seeing some career changes happen. For some of you, they may be subtle. For others, it may be quite drastic. Now, if it's not about any sort of career shift or change, there just could be a new opportunity coming in for you this month in general. I think in general as well, when we look at, you know, getting into January, the beginning of a brand new year, we always take this opportunity to rebrand ourselves, to change something, to, especially when we're talking about changes, change for the better is what seems to be highlighted during these times. So I feel like that it could be representative of an energy you're in. If it's not career opportunity, love opportunity, maybe it's about seizing the moment, seizing the opportunity here to create positive change in your life going forward. Now you do have here a 2 of Swords for what you're dealing with, okay? Now, 2 of Swords typically represents not really knowing what to do. You feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. You could feel like you are in an indecisive space in some area of your life. Having a look here at the outcome, 5 of Swords, there definitely seems to be some frustration about that. So it almost kind of feels to me like jumping into January. January is all about problem solving. It's about looking at something that may be stressing you out, looking at something that may be confusing you and saying, you know what, I'm going to take this opportunity coming into the brand new year to find the solution that I've been searching for quite some time. Maybe you were trying to find a solution to a situation that you felt confused in, and it felt almost impossible to reach what you're going to do going forward. But however, I feel like there's this power behind January. There's this power behind the new year where we feel more motivated than ever. So I'm getting that sense here that you're taking up this opportunity to solve a problem coming into your month. Now, for some of you, maybe a problem to you was career and there needed to be a change. Maybe for others of you, it was a relationship. For others of you, it could have been about how you think or what you tend to do, what your habits are, your habitual energy. So there's definitely something here you want to solve, and I feel that you're going to be more motivated than ever to make that happen. Now, you might be asking, though, 2 of Swords, if I don't know how to solve this, then how am I going to solve it in general? Well, I feel like you're taking upon the opportunity of thinking outside the box, walking into January 2024. This is about saying, everything I've tried to do so far isn't working, but there is limitless and endless amounts of options of what I can do for myself and what I can do within my life. Therefore, it's time to think outside my box, and it's time to expand my realm of possibilities, which is 110% true. I always tend to say on the channel, right, a limited mind is a limited life, but a person who can think free is abundant, okay? So a really important quote to carry going forward. Now let's have a look and see what's showing up in the challenge. What do we have here in the challenge position for Taurus? For the challenge, we have here the King of Wands coming into play for you. I feel like King of Wands showing up is your desires. It's what you're interested in. It's where you are spending primarily a lot of your focus. I think that you definitely have your eyes set on something, Taurus. Your eyes are set on a situation, but you're finding it difficult to get there. So that seems to be the frustration and challenge. Let's have a look here and clarify. Why can't Taurus overcome this challenge, or why do they feel like it's hard to get what it is that they want, whatever that may be? We have here the Lovers. I think that to give you the answer to this, it's almost as if maybe you're holding on to the idea of having what you want so tightly that it's blinding you from the ability to see the path there. Let's say, for example, maybe you're a person who is really searching for financial stability and financial freedom. And financial freedom is what you have your eyes set on. It's all you want. It's all you're interested in. But with the Lovers card coming into play, you are so connected to the idea of wanting to have financial stability. But unfortunately, you're still so wrapped on to the reality you have in front of you that you don't have what it is you want. Remember, in terms of law of attraction, when we focus on what we don't have, we're only creating more of that lack rather than creating abundance. So it feels like you are desiring to have what you desire. In this case, we're using the example of financial freedom. But with that desire, it's also showing that you're lacking what you have. That's why it's so important with law of attraction and manifestation to tap into the energy as if you already have the life you desire to live. If financial stability is what you wish to have, start embodying a version of yourself that is financially stable. What would you do if you were a financially stable person? How would you save your money? How would you invest your money if you were financially stable? What would that version of you look like? How would you show up in the world? How would you dress? How would you think? And you start applying these types of characteristics, if you will, to yourself, and you will literally manifest and merge into that future version. So I just wanted to mention that here. I think that the challenge is you're so focused on having what you want, but remember, if you're wanting something, you're lacking it. And I think that that's what's creating more lack in your life. So definitely something to note. Moving along here forward though, let's see what you can expect throughout the rest of your January 2024. What can our Taurian peeps here expect throughout the rest of their January? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's take a look. First card coming out, it's going to be the the 7 here of Cups. Taking a look here at the next card, we got here the 6 of Cups. We also have here the Magician, and we have here a 8 of an 8 of Wands, bear with me guys, and a Queen of Swords. I do have to get used to this deck because it is brand new. I happen to get it for Christmas, if you're wondering. It is the Disney Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, so shout out to my girlfriend. Love this deck absolutely, but I do have to get used to it, so bear with me guys if I'm messing up on these cards, okay? Anyhow, moving on into what you can expect going forward. Yep, we do have here a 7 of Cups, and we have here a 6 of Cups as well. I think that the main thing that you've been having a lot of difficulty with is figuring out where you're supposed to fit in some area of life. So if it's about career, it's like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing? You know, if it's about relationships, sure, in the past, 6 of Cups, I've dated people, but I've had, you know, maybe not the best experiences with those people. Therefore, it's like, where am I supposed to fit? Like, who am I supposed to be with? And what is the kind of person I'm supposed to find? You know, you got here the Magician card. Essentially, what you can expect throughout the rest of this month is that you have to recognize it's all about how you decide to show up, Taurus, in your world. It's not about the external creating what happens to you. It's about you creating what you desire on the inside to manifest on the out. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, the message and point I'm trying to get across, so bear with me here, Taurus. But what I'm trying to say here for you guys is that I feel like you are looking at your past and you are saying, well, because X, Y, and Z has happened, now I can predict my future. So if in the past I had a hard year at work, I can look forward to maybe having another hard year at work. If in the past I didn't have much success in love, I could probably look forward to not having much success in love going forward. When you base your life directly off the past, you are going to have a repetitive cycle where your life continues to be the past manifesting itself over and over and over again. You have to remember that the key to creating a different solution and to making something change and shift in your life is by embracing that change in the now. It's not about the future, it's not about the past, but it's always going to be about the present moment, the now. So Taurians, I'm getting this feeling for you where you have to be mindful of how you're deciding to show up. And I think you're going to start to see that. It's about you recognizing coming into the month here of January, what kind of habits am I embodying? What kind of traits am I still doing that may not be my favorite or that may not be leading me in the right direction? You know, I feel like this month you're being called to such a level of self-awareness in how you show up. And also with that self-awareness, it's going to allow you to take note of what have I experienced in the past and what's been repetitive cycles that have been happening in my life. And as you can start to see how things have repeated and things have played out, you can see what needs to be changed so that you don't have to repeat your past into your present. And however, you're also recognizing, magician, I get to choose how I show up in my life. So if everything revolves around the present moment, not the past nor the future, if I want to change something, that change starts now. So you have to show up in the person you want to be, right? Now, I know that this reading is getting very law of attraction and woo-woo. Some people may not resonate with law of attraction, but that's what I talk about primarily in almost all of my readings. So I want to make note of this real fast. How you decide to show up in the world is who you're deciding to be today. Your past can tell you who you used to be, but many people tend to say, well, my past tells me who I am today. The truth is, guys, is you have the ability to show up as whoever you want to be each and every single day. So if you wake up tomorrow, Taurus, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to be the person I am anymore, but instead, here's a version of myself that I feel would be amazing. Guess what? I'm now becoming that person. You're embodying the characteristics of what that person would look like, how they would be, how they'd behave, the people they'd surround themselves with. And guess what? When you embody that energy, you merge into that future version of yourself that you could define as your greatest version. So I feel like you're going to see here coming into the month here of January 2024, I got to let go of my past. If there's repetitive cycles, I got to make shifts. It's about getting present, but it's also about taking a look and seeing how am I showing up in my world and my reality, because how you show up dictates what's going to happen on the external. Once again, it's not the external creating the internal. It is what's going on within you that creates and pushes outward into the external realm in the world. Now, Taurians, you also have here an 8 of Swords and you have here a Queen of Swords. I think what you can expect along the terms of January 2024 as well is you're going to notice that your thinking's changing. 8 of Swords can be the energy of overthinking. It could be the energy of feeling very anxious, very worried. But I think that you're coming to a place where you're figuring out, how do I get out of my head? How do I break cycles? How do I break thought patterns in ways that I, felt were difficult to break in the past? I think there's going to be a lot of mental work coming into this month where you're shifting how you're thinking. You're also shifting how you're reacting, responding to the thoughts that you have. And you're also in a period of time where you're bringing forth better habits, on not necessarily just better thinking habits, but better habits when it comes to action. And at the end of the day here, Taurian, I definitely feel here too that while you're in this space where you're going through your own personal transformation over time, naturally, you're going to tend to feel less anxious. You're going to tend to feel less stuck inside your head. And one thing that really helps getting you out of your head in general is actually having something to work towards. Usually we're in our heads because we're lost, we're worried, we're fearful because we don't feel like something's going the right way or the right direction. But having a goal in mind can be great to keep your head very clear. And I think there are many goals showing up here for Taurians moving into 2024 as a whole. As I previously mentioned in your overall beginning of your main situation, I think that this is an opportune time for you to finally solve some sort of problem or find some sort of solution. And January 2024 is about you figuring out the solution to a problem that you felt stuck with for a very long time. So it's nice to see you guys going in this direction, There's always something spectacular and magical, if you will, about New Year's and about just being in a new year in general. It's like that nice, great reset. So I think you're going to be feeling it a little bit extra here coming into 2024 overall, okay? Now, let's have a look into some other areas of life, Taurus. I'm going to take a look here into your career, your love life, and your personal life. So let's have a look here and see what's going on. Starting out with career first for Taurus, what's going on here with Taurians and their career in January 2024? Having a look here at the first card, we got here the 10 of Cups. Hello. Looking at the next, we have here the Fool. And lastly, Taurian, we're going to grab the one more card and we have here the 7 of Pentacles. I love this, guys. This is awesome. So let's talk about it. 7 of Pentacles is investment. So I think many of you are starting to notice that you're investing a heck of a lot more time into the expansion of your career. Now, this may not resonate with every Taurian, but for the Taurians, this does resonate too. I think you're pretty set. at in the kind of career that you have. You have found your roots. You have found that this is something that is for you, and you're at a point in time where it's like, great, I know this is for me, so how do I expand? Full card. How do I branch out, and how do I experience more to this career? So I think you're looking for different ways to innovate, which is fantastic, right? You know, Taurians are ruled by Uranus. Uranus at the end of the day is innovation. So I feel for you guys at this time, you're in a very innovative space. You want to take your career to the next level, whether you have your own business, whether you work in the social media space, whether you work, for a company or whatever the case may be. However you can expand, that's what seems to be on your mind. And for some of you, it could really be about the motivation driving factor behind it. Could be family with the 10 of Cups. You know, maybe you've recently had, a daughter or a son. Maybe you've recently, just had another baby brought into the family. So you could be at a point where you're very family motivated and driven, so that you're making more of an income and you're expanding in your career to set up a positive and beautiful future for your kids. Some of you, I'm seeing that be a big motivation for you at this time. For others, maybe you want to start a family, so therefore grinding, going hard at work, making more of that income could be a very great motivator as well, to put you in a perspective, in a position to where you can start that family and feel financially safe. So I think it's a good time. I think it's a great time for expansion and innovation. I think that if you have new ideas, try it, especially for those of you that are self-employed, or for those of you that have your own business. If you've been thinking of an idea for a while, this could be the great time to really introduce it to the world, because you might get in at the right time. Like, I'm hearing the right time. Like, you get into something, some sort of market, or you come up with some sort of product, or you sell some kind of service. Maybe you are the person who innovated and pioneered this beginning of this service, this product, etc., that solves problems and adds value, and you could put yourself out there and really make quite a pretty penny and quite a positive impact on people. So definitely something to keep in mind for those of you that are self-employed. If you've been thinking about starting something, even if you're not self-employed, that could benefit and aid and help other people, this could be a great time to get on into that, okay? We are entering a year of the 8 in numerology for 2024, and 8 is abundance. So there's a great way here to make more revenue when it comes to career, all right? So far, I like it. 10 of Cups, though, family isn't the motivating driving factor. I mean, you could just be really motivated because you're happy with what you do, and if that's the case, I'm happy for you, It's a beautiful thing when a person can love their career and see a future and expand in it. So I love that for the Taurians here, that this resonates to, okay? Moving along here forward, though, Team Taurus, let's hop on into love. What do we got going on here for single Taurian peeps first? What's up here for single Taurus? Coming on in here to January 2024. What do we got for you? First card is going to be the Justice. Looking at the following card, we have here the Three of Swords, and taking a look here at the next card, we have the King of Pentacles. For single Taurians, I'm kind of getting the feeling here right now that you could be recovering from some sort of heartbreak. So it doesn't have to mean that it's recent heartbreak. It could have been heartbreak that occurred a while back, but I do get the feeling for you where it's like, I don't really want to put myself out on the market in love just now or just yet, because I want to take more time to kind of heal. You don't want to jump into a connection when you still feel like you're dealing with such heavy scars, because those heavy scars can carry out into a new connection with somebody. You don't want to put them in that position. You don't want to put yourself in that position either. So I think you're kind of keeping to yourself here. King of Pentacles is definitely like, I want to focus on money over everything. So if you're a single person or a single Taurian, you're probably focusing on your own personal stability. And even if it's not financial stability, your overall stability in life seems to be the main focus. And honestly, throughout this entire reading, we've been seeing a lot about Taurians focusing on self-improvement. So King of Pentacles falls along the lines of self-improvement too, and that's where your main focal point is. So for single Taurians, not much action or movement happening in love here this month, but I feel like you're very much so focused on your own personal stability as a whole. Now, for couple Taurians, whether you're married or whether you're in a romantic relationship and commitment, let's see what's going on with you. What do we have here for couple Taurians coming on into January 2024? First card out is going to be the 8 of Swords. Is this the 8 of Swords? I believe that we had the... Oh, you know what, guys? I confused something earlier. I said over here that this was the 8 of Swords. This was actually the 8 of Wands. Now this is the Eight of Swords coming out. Either way, though, what I mentioned here earlier in the read with the Queen of Swords to the Eight of Wands, this is a card that represents transformation and change. So this still applies to getting out of your head nonetheless. Like I mentioned, bear with me, guys. New deck, I'm getting used to it. So sorry about that mess up, but the message was actually the same either way. And Mercury is also in retrograde, so bear with me here too, Team Taurus, okay? Anyhow, taking a look here, though, for the Taurians that are in relationships, Eight of Swords coming out for you. We have here a Six of Wands coming into play, and we also have here a Knight of Wands coming into play here for you as well. Interesting. For a couple Taurians, I do get the feeling for you where if there have been any sort of worries that have been showing up within the relationship and connection, Six of Wands here says we're overcoming that. Six of Wands is a great card here of attention to detail. It's a great card here also of success. So I feel like you'll be successfully moving away from fear, or if there's been any moments where you and your partner have felt nervous about the connection, or you both have kind of been in your head and haven't really spoken about how you feel, communication here is really coming in as well for the month of January 2024. Yeah, Knight of Wands here says we're moving closer towards each other, especially if there's been distance. You know, what I'm seeing here for couple Taurians is a situation where you both kind of had things going on inside your head. You had things that you both were thinking about very frequently, but there wasn't conversations coming with this. So you and your person wouldn't talk to each other. There wasn't communication. You would overthink, they would overthink, but there wasn't that sense of clarity and understanding between each other. And that's what's shifting and changing here, allowing you both to grow closer to one another going forward into this brand new year. It's like, okay, it's time here to communicate. It's time to give attention to one another. It's time to pay attention to detail. And with that being said, you both start moving closer to one another. So I think if there has been distance, and I'm not saying physical, but more so emotional distance between you and your respected romantic partner, there's this shift happening here in January where it's like, we need to really pay more close attention to how one another feels. We need to also be expressive, because the lack of expression is what created, I feel, that distance in the first place. So with this expression coming in, incredibly positive for coupled Tauruses. I love it. Moving on forward, let's see what's going on with you on a bit more of a personal note. What's popping here for Taurians on a bit of a more personal note, please? Coming on into January 2024. First card out is going to be the Knight of Cups. We also have here the Wheel of Fortune. And lastly, we have here the Six of Pentacles. Okay. Six of Pentacles showing up for you is cool. It's a card here of balance, which I like. Now, we also have a Wheel of Fortune, and we have here a Knight of Cups. I think positively you guys are moving forward on a personal level into a much better direction. That's something you can definitely expect to see here coming into the brand new year. So Knight of Cups, this is you, Taurus. I'm carrying good energy going forward. I'm excited to carry good energy going forward. Wheel of Fortune, there's positive changes happening. And Six of Pentacles, like I feel happy. I feel, in an energy of balance and peace. But however, you also feel connected to the changes happening and occurring in your life. So I almost want to say, Taurus, for the first time in a while, on a personal note, you feel like you've reclaimed a sense of power and you've reclaimed a sense of control. I think that whatever the solution you've been searching for, or whatever the problem was that was majorly affecting you before we entered January, it made you feel like you were, in a way, possibly helpless, or it made you feel in a way that you didn't have power or control to change these types of things. However, though, coming into January, you're gaining that sense of power back, that sense of balance, that sense as well of, I can do this. I have the positive energy to bring. I have the energy to bring in general to conduct and to create change. So you believe in yourself again. And you make things happen by taking action here. And I think it's quite wonderful to see, honestly. You guys have had a very great reading here for this brand new year. So I'm super excited to convey this all to you. Let's have a look at the overall, man. What's the overall outcome here for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for January 2024. What's the overall outcome at this time? And what do we got? We got here the Queen of Wands, baby. By the way, I love the black cat over here. This is so cute. Kind of looks like the cat from Coraline a little bit, right? For those of you that have watched that movie, it scares the hell out of my girlfriend, but I love Coraline. It's amazing. Anyhow, Queen of Wands, reclaiming your power, stepping back into your power, and being in a position to where you feel confident, you feel comfortable, you feel energized, you feel motivated. Taurian, your energy here is back. The best way I can almost kind of convey this message is that if you felt in a way almost like a zombie before entering this new year, it's like you feel refreshed, It's like going from a lethargic energy to feeling incredibly energized, like you had 10 coffees. I think that your whole energy here is shifting, and it's a very positive experience to say the least, okay? All right, Team Taurus. Guys, I loved your reading here for the month here of January 2024, I want to wish you all a very happy new year. Have a great time entering this brand new year with your friends, your family, your loved ones, and have a great year in general for 2024. Super excited to be doing your yearly read at some point or another, but for the month of January, things here look quite great. So Taurus, thanks again. If you are new here and you're interested in the channel, hit that subscribe button, man. I'd be happy to have you and welcome you here into the Soul family. For those of you that did enjoy the video, of course, do feel free to drop a like, helps out a lot on YouTube. And if you want a personal reading, as always, check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com, first link in the description box below. All right, Team Taurus, have a great January, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.